You're right. We got to go, man. We got a podcast. Oh, shit. You're right. Yo, what up? Welcome back to iRake Mentality Podcast, episode 4, baby. We got Ryan Vega. I'm Jesse Zaragoza again. Welcome to iRake Mentality Podcast. What's going on, Ryan?
Not much, man. So, if you're wondering, I just don't have trophies, in my background all the time. I'm actually at my dad's house. It's his birthday today. But I'm in my old childhood bedroom. So these are all my Little League trophies from Chopin Park, Porter's Park, Horner Park, Hamlin, all the parks in the city that we grew up playing. So that explains my background, but doing well, man. Excited for this podcast. This one we have a guest coming in that is close to my heart, and I've played with him for years, won some championships. Can't say enough good things about this guy. And obviously we got the Super Bowl tomorrow, right? So we got a packed weekend. Really excited to get into it, but appreciate you having me on, and let's get into it, man.
Let's get right into it. So who's this episode brought to you by today? Who's our sponsor today?
All right. So today's episode is brought to you by baseball. So if you're not aware, if you don't know about Vega Baseball, that is something that my father, Gilbert Vega, started in 2007 as professional instruction throughout the Chicagoland area, all the way to Naperville. I mean, we even go farther than that. We go all the way to Romeoville, Shorewood, as north as even, to Gurnee and up into Wisconsin and Indiana. We've done camps and sessions. So if you ever need any personal instruction, whether that's in the off season, preparing for these high school tryouts coming up, or during the season, definitely contact us. We have a slew of coaches specializing in mostly hitting and infielding, but we do have other coaches that we partner with that are specialized in catching and in outfielding as well. So definitely reach out to Vega Baseball. We have an Instagram page as well that we're starting to build. So feel free to reach out. Would love to run any ad hoc camps that you need, but we've been doing a lot of camps lately with the Romeoville Titans, Oswego Cobras, kind of in that area right now. It's really busy leading up to high school tryouts. So good luck to everyone, but that's a little bit about Vega Baseball. The Instagram's on the bottom there. If you want to reach out, feel free.
Awesome. So like you did say, today is a special. We'll bring him on right now. He's a special birthday man.
Yes, sir. Yes.
The Vega family. Go ahead and introduce him.
Father of Vega Baseball. Yeah, the creator. Like I said, ever since 2007, he grew up in the city. He went to Prosser, was all state there. Played varsity there. He went to North Park University. Broke that home run record there, for the time being. Had a quick couple in pro ball, and now he helps kids throughout the Illinois area. So without further ado, hopefully he logs into the link. I know he's had a couple, but my father and the creator of Vega Baseball, Gil Vega.
What's up?
Hello, everyone. Hello, Jesse. How are you? Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Happy birthday.
Oh,
Happy
thank
birthday,
you very much.
Pops. Yeah.
Come on, get in here, Salva, get in here. Yeah,
we got our whole family. My brother over there. Yeah, we've got a whole family affair. But Dad, really quickly, I was just talking about Vega Baseball and the camps that we're running. We not only do one-to-one individual training, but we do camp training as well. We've done annual father-son home run derby camps. You name it, we've done it. We try to keep it affordable for all of our clients as well. But we're leading into the high school baseball season. So is there anything that you would add or tell these high school players, looking to make their team for the first year or second?
Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. It was really interesting because I interviewed other players like you would, Jesse, and asked them, what kind of advice would you give my players that are trying out for high school, right? And they came up with about like 2 or 3 really good points that would really help them out. And it's like, hey, play within your skill set. Don't try too hard or else you're going to mess up, right?
Right.
That's what everybody does. Play within your skill set. Let the cards fall where they may, have no regrets and try your best. And that's all we're about at Vega Baseball, is trying to work them out and give them enough reps that they're going to be prepared to succeed.
Exactly. Yeah. And high school tryouts is such a stressful time. for people trying to make it for the first year or even coming back, and you have some new talent coming in. So that's our majority of our customer base is that incoming high school age as well as high school age kids. So if you ever need any instruction, whether you make the team this year or not, we can definitely help you. I mean, we've worked with kids who haven't made the team freshman or sophomore year. They come in, they make varsity. We've had kids that don't even make varsity, and they actually play Division II baseball out in Florida. So, if there's a will, there's a way. It's all personal development, and it's all case by case. So, reach out to us if you need any help. But appreciate you jumping on, Dad. Happy birthday!
appreciate you,
On
guys.
the iRake Mentality Podcast, and appreciate you hopping on. I won't keep you any longer. I know you're having some drinks downstairs, and I'll be down there in about an hour and a half with you.
All right, thank you guys. Enjoy your
Thanks,
podcast.
Gil.
Happy birthday, Dad. We love you.
Happy
Thank
30th.
you, guys.
Take care.
Blue Island Brewers. Gunnar Vega also played on Nuevo Leon with me. Jesse's played on Nuevo Leon as well. And without further ado, I know everyone's been waiting for this guest. This is someone who I hold close to my heart, like I mentioned. We've played on Nuevo Leon together for I mean, unfortunately didn't play this last year, but we've been playing together for about 7 or 8 years now, and can't say enough good things about this guy. Not only with his character on the field, but off the field as well. So, without further ado, my dog, center fielder, Andy Gaytan.
Yo, what up, Andy? What's going on, man?
Hey, what's happening, fellas?
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on, man. I'm excited.
Dude, we're excited, man. You answered the call a couple episodes ago with our boy Brandon.
Oh, yeah.
I think we were shouting you out, and we were trying to get you on the show, and here you are. Thanks for joining us, bro.
Of course, man. Yeah, this is good. This is going to be fun.
Definitely a lot of fun.
Appreciate you coming on, man. We've had a couple of guests on so far, and my brother was on. He played on Nuevo Leon as well, but love that we're getting into more players that we've played alongside with, for a good amount of time, and we've had a lot of success, man. We've played on the Aces together a little bit. We played a majority of our playing time together has been with Nuevo Leon, and I think that runs deep in your family as really any team at Petrowski and Benito Juarez League. It runs deep in my family. I know my dad's played, I've played, my brother, and very similar to you as well. You and your family have played in that park. So, really excited to get into it. But let's dive into, the early years first. I mean, we know the successes that you've gotten, in men's league and even at the professional level, collegiate level, high school level. But, to kind of kick it off, really want to get into the early years. Where did you grow up? When did you fall in love with the game of baseball? Some people, they started playing at 4 years old. Me personally, I started when I was at 9 years old. So, what did that look like for you? What made you want to play baseball? And, how early did you start?
Yeah, so I started pretty early, man. It probably as soon as I could walk, I had a bat in my hand. Like, you see that picture right there. Look at that.
That's form, bro. I still talk about that.
And everything.
Hey, not natural. But that picture is actually in my grandma's house out in Pilsen on 18th Street.
Dang.
Yeah, honestly,
did you go? Wait, your grandma? Okay. I grew up in Pilsen.
My grandma's house, yeah, out in Pilsen. But I grew up here in Oak Forest, Illinois, south suburbs. But I would always go to my grandma's and right in that backyard, man. That's where I would swing it, and then my dad would toss me little wiffle ball balls, and I had my wiffle ball bat or stick, and I would just swing, man. And that's where the love of the game started and the passion ever since then.
Love it. Is that kind of like your story then, getting into baseball? I know that you started pretty young. Was it your dad that was really pushing you towards it, or did you just catch a glimpse of Ken Griffey Jr. on TV and you were like, I want to play? What made you pick baseball over, a lot of other exciting sports out there?
Oh, it was definitely my dad for sure. Watching the Cubs, and even like you said with the Petrowski leagues and the men's leagues, man, I would go as a kid and just soak up all that, man. It turned into a tradition, and I fell in love with it, man. Just watching my dad play, and then obviously just me playing as well. I couldn't get enough of it since I was a kid.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I think that's.
What was your first position?
Oh man, I kind of played everywhere. I've always had a good glove.
Mhm.
And I honestly played infield up until probably I was 11.
As a lefty.
As a lefty, yeah. I mean, I can move, man. I can glove it. I had a pretty strong arm. But yeah, once I got older, though, they're like, you're gonna make your time spent more in the outfield than in the infield for sure.
Okay, was it do you think outfield's tougher than infield?
Man,
I never played outfield. So.
I think it's easier to learn outfield. I think it's tough to be a good outfielder though.
To be able to read the ball.
Yeah, just having ball skills and be able to take good angles and being able to make that tough play that's in the gap or down the line. Infield, like, yeah, you got to be a special player to play infield, man. You got to be a certain type of athlete, and that's tough in itself. I would say infield for sure is harder than outfield.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you, but I think they're two different beasts, man. Like I think that infield gets more opportunity, so I think you're able to see infielders and how they move if they're a good infielder. But with outfielders, I feel like they get less opportunity to make a certain play or to read a ball efficiently. And the only way you can tell if an outfielder's not good is when he's not doing, he makes an error or he messes up. That's kind of, the only time that you can really gauge an outfielder. But when you come through and when you cut off that ball and hold him to a single, or you gun him out at home, man, everyone's just lit, right? Everyone's like, all right, cool, we got a good outfielder. Like, that was a great play. And usually those are the biggest plays, right? You're the one bringing it, from the farthest distance of the outfield. You're bringing it home to block him off, whether you're hitting the cutoff on the line or taking it yourself. I give major props to my outfielders because, I've played it here and there, and it's its own beast. But don't get me wrong, when you miss me on the cutoff, man, I'm not the happiest guy.
A swing and a high drive deep to
Kind of
right
like
center
this,
field.
right?
On the track, banging
Boom,
into
against
the
the
wall is
wall.
Gaytan as he makes the grab. Beltran went more.
Dude, that's tough to do, bro.
That was a cool play. That was out in Utah Valley. When I was playing for Chicago State. That was 2019.
Dude, Utah Valley. So you were out in Utah playing against them?
Yeah, man. We traveled a bunch when I was at Chicago State, and they were in our conference in the WAC, the Western Athletic Conference.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, we went to them that year, and no, it was cool, man. The backdrop is just the mountains, and you can see the snow on the top, and it's a cool place to play. I like playing there.
Cool. So as you grew up, you said you grew up in Oak Forest?
Yes.
And then when did you move out to Orland area?
So I've always been in Oak Forest. I say South Suburbs because I feel like it's all meshed together with being in Oak Forest, Tinley Park, Orland Park. I feel like it's just one big neighborhood almost.
Mm-hmm.
Especially where I live. Like I'm down the street from Tinley, and same with Orland Park. Like I'm on the very edge of Oak Forest. So yeah, it's all just one big like I said, neighborhood in my eyes.
There you go.
Where did you play like house league or early on, like let's just say like from 9 to 14, right before high school, where were you playing your ball at?
So I started out with in the Tinley Park Bobcats organization. So I started playing part-time when I was probably around 7 or 8. Then started getting into full-time probably when I was like 10 or 11. And I was a Tinley Park Bobcat up until the age of 13.
Okay.
And yeah, those were like my early years of travel ball. And then when I got into high school, I was a Tinley Park Bulldog, and we had a nice little team. It was a small, probably like 14 guys, but it was a mix of like Orland Park, Tinley Park guys, Lockport guys, and we were a pretty close bunch, and we had some pretty good ball players on that team.
Yeah, Tinley Park produces some pretty solid guys. I know that league is kind of has its ups and downs, but they'll produce some pretty good guys down there. So
no, it's good baseball. It's good.
Yeah, I haven't played too much against them, but yeah, they've always got some solid guys that are coming through. But were you a multi-sport athlete as well? So like when you were playing, 9 through 14 in Tinley, were you also playing other sports as well, or was it just baseball until high school?
Yeah, I played basketball. My second love was football, man. I love football.
Oh hell yeah. Okay.
Yeah, man. Ever since I was a kid.
So I got a little something here from your Sandbrig days.
All right.
For Super Bowl Sunday, you played. What was your position on football?
So I was a defensive back, a safety, corner. It's like playing the outfield, so it came pretty easy to me.
Damn, were you a good hitter? Could you tackle?
Oh yeah, I was an ankle biter though. I had to stay low to the ground.
They call me
I got above the waist, man. I was getting rocked, but so.
It's funny because we had I played for Oswego 7A state title team.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and back in 03, we won it out of the 7A at U of I. We had a safety, and we called him Dart, Ryan Keaton. He was also a baseball guy, outfielder.
Okay.
He was an ankle biter, bro. He was really good at what he did, bro. But look at this.
Late in the first quarter, Mikey Calderazzo gets the pitch, cuts it upfield, but fumbles.
See ya.
It's picked up by Andy Gaytan, who takes it 73 yards all the way to the end zone. 14-0 San.
Man.
Well, those are the is football Friday Night Lights more fun than baseball?
Oh man, that's tough.
What's more fun for you? A high school baseball game, say a conference, game, or Friday Night Lights football?
Man, I'd probably have to go with Friday Night Lights. I feel like there's nothing like it really, especially playing at Sandburg. There's a lot of students, and just like the school pride there is awesome, man. And I loved playing in that atmosphere on Friday nights. It was cool.
Cool. So we had Brandon. He's a Sandburg guy.
Oh yeah, shout out Brandon.
Shout out Brandon. And you are a Sandburg guy, and my brother's a Sandburg guy, and I know so many Sandburg guys. They produce talent all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sandburg was Lincoln Way East now is kind of a powerhouse with sports, and I think maybe it was just all the Sandburg family started moving a little further south because Sandburg used to be the powerhouse in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about your time at Sandburg when you were a freshman. Did you play varsity right off the bat, or did you have to wait a few years?
Yeah, I had to wait a few years. I started out freshman, was on sophomores, and then my sophomore year, I ended up being brought up like middle of the season and towards the end for playoffs as well. There was a lot of good players, man, throughout my 4 years that came through that program.
What kind of who are some of the top players that you were there with?
So let's see. When I was a freshman, that senior class had Austin Cangelosi in it.
From Angelosi Sparks, his father was on it?
Yeah.
Owns it?
So that's his son. His son went to Sandburg.
Oh, wow.
He ended up playing at Indiana. David Cronin, who ended up going to UIC, ended up getting drafted by the White Sox. He was their age. And then the class up from me, or 2 years up from me, they had like Brian Paul was in there. He ended up going to Michigan. Sean Leland was a Louisville guy. Matthias Dietz, who ended up going to John A and getting drafted by the Orioles 2 years later. Like, just a couple of names that that ended up playing some high level baseball, and those are the guys that I saw, through my 4 years there. Kind of elevated my game, seeing those guys play.
And their work ethic, because it takes a work ethic to get there.
Oh yeah.
Who was your coach?
Jim Morcivillo. George Fear was a pitching coach, and then Chuck Peters. He worked with the outfielders.
Okay. So you get into when did you catch a starting spot? Was it your junior year?
Yeah, it was my junior year. I kind of caught fire, man. That was the year where I was like, man, I could play this game pretty well, man. Like it struck me that like I could keep up with the big dogs, man. Like I think I hit 410 that year. I was all conference, all area, man. But, the surrounding cast, like I said, that I had around there kind of elevated my game. Like our shortstop was a guy named Jimmy Roach, who ended up being all state and going to Western Michigan, and just seeing him hit every day kind of elevated up my game. And then you got Comia, who played third base that year as a freshman, who was special to start, man. Yeah. He was special from the start, man. So like being just around those type of players elevated my game and kind of helped me get to where I am today, really.
I feel like every single Sandburg personality I've ever met is very calm and quiet. Like every single one of them, bro. They're just all about business.
Man, I'm an introvert at heart.
Yeah, most are, bro. So then your senior year, what did you start getting recruited your junior year, or did it take until your senior year?
I had some looks my junior year. I think I was overlooked though because my size, and I wasn't a real like stocky dude. I was 5'6", 145 pounds. Just quick twitch, had speed, but not like blazing speed. But my senior year, I started to get more love because for my stats my junior year. But my senior year, yeah, I started getting looks for more like Division threes and then the JUCOs, and I wasn't a big school guy. So once I heard that, JUCO's kind of like a, more baseball, less school.
That interests you?
Oh yeah, that felt like that was a route for me for sure.
What JUCOs we're all three of us are JUCO guys. Wabanzi, Kishwaukee, and you as far as your recruitment, what JUCOs in the area? Did you get any southern, like down south, like in like Texas or any type of schools like that? JUCOs?
No, it was all Illinois schools. It was like I said, it was more like I got love from Concordia, Chicago, which is a D3 in high school, Benedictine, and then the only JUCO that gave me a shot was Triton College.
And that decision was easy for you, or what?
Yeah, it was actually. Like when I visited, and the head coach there, Harry Torgerson, shout out Torg, man. He's an Orland guy, Sandberg guy, so like it was kind of like a no-brainer. Like being closer to home and being able to play for a guy like that, it was a no-brainer.
Were you able to bring any teammates with you?
So there was a lot of guys. There was a lot of Southside guys that ended up being in my class. Shout out my guy Ryan O'Reilly. He was one of my roommates. He was an East guy. Jack Schneider, who ended up going, who played at Marist. He's actually in not the Tigers. He's with the Rays organization right now. He's a pitcher. He's
Damn.
one of my roommates. Alonzo White. He was an East guy. Ben Chaffee, Marist guy. Like just a couple names that Southside guys that they were in my class that kind of contributed to our success over at Triton.
For sure. Any Sandberg guys go with you?
Matt Owens, he was a Sandberg guy. He came, and then Kevin Cronin was also in that class as well.
Damn, so you guys were pretty good. Did you guys win regions?
Yeah, 2017 and 2018 back-to-back region champs, man. It was they were special. Those teams were special, man.
Who'd you come across in sectionals?
So with the region, we beat South Sub twice in those back-to-back years, and then we went to districts, and we ended up seeing like the Lincoln Trails, the Wabash Valleys, the Iowa Centrals, it was Western, or was that Iowa Western?
Iowa Western, and yeah. Did you ever? You mentioned them earlier. I think Joba went there. It's it starts with the J. What is it that JUCO over there? You just mentioned it.
Wabash.
No, it's like a Wabash. JC or Logan.
Logan.
Yeah. Did you face them?
Oh yeah, we would play them in the regular season. We'd go down like early in the season and play them in a 4-game series, which was cool, man. They had a lot of good talent when I was there. A lot of good teams.
Yeah, Wabash Valley right now is like a powerhouse for like a decade already.
Yeah, man, they get some crazy talent. They have like a Dominican or like Puerto Rican plug. They have a lot of Dominicans and Puerto Ricans on their team.
Yeah, it sounds like the men's
You always
baseball.
find that school. Yeah, you always find that school that has those international players, and you're like,
yeah, crazy.
Yeah, they're always so good. But I mean, something that stands out to me right here, just going off of this picture in your stats. I mean, a 30-year hits are damn near doubles, man. Is that something that's consistent year over year for you, where you do hit a lot of doubles, or what was different about this year? Where you were really putting the charge in the balls. Damn near a 30-year hits are doubles. So was there something different about this year?
Yeah, man, that year. I really started to show a little pop more than usual for sure. I was always a guy that was taught to hit the ball on the ground and leg it out.
Mm-hmm.
But once I got into college, it was like you know, you can hit the ball in the gap. You can try to hit the ball for a little more power. And that sophomore year really showed. You know, once I got a little more comfortable in the weight room, started moving some weight, gained some weight, man, the strength really showed. And you know, when you start to get stronger, you start to just want to juice balls out of the park.
Right? Yeah. You start to see him go a little farther. You're like, man, I could do this consistently, right? Yeah.
And you see other guys do it too, and you're like, man, I want to do that. I want to do that more and more.
Speaking of going out of the park, I'll show this now. This is your home run derby championship. I actually have front row seats to this. At Benito Juarez. Was it last year or 2 years ago? 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years.
Bro. I like the music. Bro, your swing's awesome. I was standing back there like, you should jump in there, and I was like, hell no. I was like, this guy just dropped 13 bombs in 2 minutes. I can't even do like 10 sit-ups in 2 minutes, bro. I was like, you know how much core it takes?
Yeah, what was that, 2022, right?
I think it was 2023.
2023. Yeah.
It was,
that was my dad. My dad was throwing to me too.
Yeah, that makes it easier, right? I feel like you have to go with your dad throwing BP because you've seen it all your life.
Yeah.
You kind of know where it's going.
He knows where to throw it too. It's money.
Low and in.
Low and in, high and in. Just give me something in. I'll just
anything inside, yeah. I love it. Yeah, I mean, I've seen guys go in with their dads before, but you know, unfortunately, the dad doesn't have a good arm, and you know they're hitting all over the place. So luckily, you know, we've been blessed with dads that can hit the strike zone, and yeah, it would be very, very similar, you know, to go in there and with someone that you know. But yeah, I wasn't able to be there for that home run derby, but I heard it was pretty close and it was exciting. But yeah, that was a blast. That was for Nuevo Leon, so that was a couple years ago. But you know, so going into high school, I mean, the awards that you've won, you know, you started to play varsity, you know, you got hot right away. You know, you got looks at Triton. You started there. You know, walk me through after your freshman college and what your mindset is, because for a lot of JUCO guys, you know, that's a big year. You know, freshman year is very similar to your junior year in high school as opposed to freshman year in college. So when you get to that sophomore year, most of the guys that are good, they're already committed, right? They've already had that 1 year. They already know where they're going. And I know I was in that position where I wasn't committed. And I'm like, oh, man, you know, that kind of made me feel some type of way. So what was your mindset in, you know, going into that sophomore season, you know, whether that's looks you're getting or even just mindset of, hey, I really got to tear the cover off this ball this year, you know, to get a good look. What did that look like for you sophomore year?
Yeah, so going into my sophomore year, I was lucky enough to get, you know, some good success towards the end of my freshman year. And I just kind of built off that going into the summer. And then going into the fall, my sophomore year, I just kept riding that confidence that I had that ended my freshman year. And, you know, I stuck with the process, man. I always knew I could play the game. I always knew that, you know, I can hang with and compete with these guys who were so-called better than me. So I never really stressed, to be honest. There was always something in the back of my mind that, you know, everything will fall into place if I just, you know, keep playing the game, play hard, and, you know, someone eventually is going to be like, hey, that kid can play. Like, I want him to play for me. So it was never really like a panic thing. And I was kind of blessed with, you know, having good teammates, and they were all in like the same boat. I think that's why I love JUCO so much, because, you know, if you get a good group of guys that are in the same process, like it's less stressful, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big JUCO proponent. I've said it before in past episodes. JUCO, I love JUCO route. The friendships you build for a lifetime are in JUCO, I feel like. Because everyone goes through it together. It's new to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Every freshman's, they don't know what to expect, and you got some sophomores there, and hopefully you have some. Typically, most sophomores are always good to, like, you know, bring you into the process, show you the ropes, and then you start balling, and that's all it's about. It's just ball at that point.
And to stay local as well, to stay with Chico State, right? So kind of moving on to your next leg. I think that everyone knows Chico State had its own, reputation for doing, certain things. And, you were in the heat of it. I remember, playing with you on Web Leon while you were, at your tail end there. So what was it like playing at Chico State for for the last years that they had scholarships and things along those lines? What was that like, playing over
Man,
there?
Chicago State. It was.
They hate when you call it Chico State, bro.
Yeah.
You kept saying it.
There actually is a Chico State. That's what's funny. It's like out in Cali somewhere.
Right.
Is it really? It's a real school?
Yeah, it's a real school.
It is a real school.
My buddies at Northern, when we were at Kishwaukee, they used to they're like, "Oh, we're playing Chico State," and I was like, "Why does everyone keep calling it Chico State?"
That's
But
hilarious.
there's some good talent over there.
No, man, yeah, that was a hell of a ride over there. Actually, what drew me and probably most of my teammates was definitely the travel schedule. Like we traveled a lot, man. We probably took like 6-7 flights a year. From starting out in Florida, or we would even probably like my junior year, we ended up our first series was in California playing the University of the Pacific out in Stockton, California. And then we would go to like Florida, come back, maybe play like a couple midweeks, and then like we might be off to New Mexico State and play them for a weekend, and then come back, have a midweek, and then maybe go to Sacramento State and play them for a weekend, come back midweek, maybe have a home series, and then another flight. So it was just that was the schedule, but it was intriguing because it felt like you were in pro ball almost the way you traveled.
So then when did you feel the best? Like, I know that me, sometimes when I'm on the road for a while and it's really tough to get going, and sometimes I don't know the buses you had, but I mean, sometimes we're pulling out the seats, right, to reposition them. Sometimes guys are sleeping on the floor and you just get the worst night's sleep ever. When did you feel really good in a season where you're on the road the most? Was it mostly at home, or, did you have comfortable buses and sometimes you just went off on the road?
We didn't bus much, but honestly, like the travel really never affected me. It really never even crossed my mind, to be honest. Like it was just like, hey, it is what it is. I asked for this. So I don't maybe it affected me sometimes, but I don't ever think like I thought about it in that way. It was just like, man, this is cool. Like I'm in New Orleans one weekend and then I'm in California the next.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I didn't even think about like, oh man.
Especially at that age, right? You're like, yo, I'm kind of a rock star right now.
Yeah, exactly. You're feeling yourself a little bit. So I don't even. Yeah, it never really crossed my mind, to be honest with you.
What was like the coolest like university D1 school that you got to play against, or like the nicest field?
Oh man. Off the top of my head, I would probably say Auburn. Playing at Auburn.
Played against Auburn?
Yeah, played against Auburn. That was right before everything shut down in 2020. That was the last series we played, man. That was cool to play there. That was something.
It's powerhouse SEC baseball.
Yeah, it was different, man. Like they brought a crowd, and just like seeing on the the outfield wall, seeing Bo Jackson's number retired, seeing Frank Thomas's number retired, and you're like, man, like it's pretty cool. It's something special.
Like I'm here. Like my dad always talks about when they went and played Miami, because my dad played at UIC.
Okay.
And he always talks about when they went to go play down in Miami, Hawaii, all these big time schools. And I was like, dude, that's gotta be awesome. It's like I would love to play against Miami, just beat them.
Yeah, right. Maybe just being able to compete with like that sort of talent is cool, man. It was something.
Definitely, man.
And I remember, yeah, kind of after Chico State, playing with you, when it was announced that you were going to Bowling Green, I was like, man.
How did that happen?
That's the perfect thing that could have happened, because we all need somebody, right? We all need somebody to just see that we're good and just put a good word in and get a solid opportunity. And I was like, when I saw that, I was like, oh, Andy's good. He's going pro. I said, he's gonna have a solid freaking year, and excuse my language, and he's good now. But finally, someone saw what all of us were seeing. So yeah, how did that happen? That transfer to Bowling Green, and then what was that first year like?
Yeah, man, that was actually crazy because that whole process was during COVID, man. Like the world was like on its heels, and it kind of like it felt like I was back like at like the process of when I was at Triton, you know. It was when they cut the program, when Chicago State cut the program that summer. It was like, all right, well, I'm going to transfer out. I want to keep playing at this level. Someone's got to see me, right? Someone's got to see me. I was fortunate enough to have a teammate at Triton College who ended up going there as well. And believe it or not, Bowling Green also thought about cutting their program, but then brought it back because the alumni raised so much money.
Yeah.
And
that's the MAC, right?
Yeah, it's the MAC.
Yeah.
Good old MAC connection.
Dude, MAC is good at baseball, man.
No, it is, man. It's really good ball. So that where was I at? Yeah, so I had a teammate.
Yeah.
Right? They went to Bowling Green. And when they had a couple players leave because of the program getting cut and bringing it back, some guys left. So my teammate hit up the head coach and was like, hey, I got a guy if you're looking for a guy. And one thing led to another, got a call, and I was at Bowling Green that fall in 2020.
Damn.
Yeah. Awesome. It happens so quick like that, right? It really does just happen. And you think it would be a longer process, right? You think that there would be more validated, you know, more that needs to be validated. But, you know, if you can ball, like you said, you know, somebody's going to find you. And it's so tough to believe that, right? It's so tough, you know, just to play the game of baseball and not, you know, I was at a Vega baseball session earlier today, coaching one of our clients that he's reporting the pro ball, you know, out in Colorado in April. And he had the same, you know, kind of the same talk track you said, which was he wasn't very confident that he could hang there in his first year of pro ball. And I told him, I said, just keep doing the things you've been good at. And he finally hit a walk-off home run to win one of the playoff games. And he did the biggest bat flip, you know, and that was kind of the moment that solidified it for him that say, hey, you know what? I belong here and I can ball here. And I feel like every baseball player has that story. Me and Jesse had talked on the last podcast, you know, with Brandon about that. And he had a similar story where he needed to know, you know, he had to have that moment that was like, I can hang here with these guys. I can play just like these guys. And once you get past that moment, it's kind of like you have all the confidence of the world, right? And now you're ready to not only be successful at Bowling Green, but, you know, you were confident enough to bet on yourself and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to go to the California Winter League. And there's a lot of, you know, opportunity out there and a lot of coaches. And I remember when you went off there, you know, I gave you a little bit of my advice of being in that league in the past. And yeah, tell me a little bit about that. So kind of Bowling Green's over, you know, you go out to Cali, which is, you know, that's such a huge decision to go play in that Winter League, which is only for a couple of weeks. And, you know, you get a bunch of exposure, but at that point, it's either you make you get a contract or not. So, you know, what was that like going to Cali, you know, at that time of year, you know, being like it's all or nothing, and then, you know, ending with the result that you got eventually?
Yeah, man, that was a great experience. I liked it a lot. Like you said, just being able to play out there in Cali this was probably late January to late February in 2022. Like, coming from the Midwest, you never played baseball that early. So, playing ball that early was awesome.
I feel that.
And, right, and just being, just being able to play out there, and it was cool, man, because that Winter League also, you know, everyone's kind of reaching a certain goal. Not only the players are trying to get signed, but also, you know, our clubby was also looking for a contract in pro ball. The trainers,
tip your clubbies, tip them.
Yeah, tip them. Man.
Like, you gotta tip them. Yep.
What's a clubby?
The equipment guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I does your laundry, washing everybody's jock straps. Yeah, you got
to make my son the clubby for our men's team.
But that was cool. When I heard, like, he was like, yeah, I'm even trying to get a contract. I'm like, man, everyone's trying to get a contract.
Yeah.
And the Tigers ended up signing him, and he was their big league clubby, man.
Wow, that's awesome. That's such a great story. What's his name?
Oh man, I forgot his name.
Clubby.
All good. Yeah, no. Shout out to all the clubbies out there. I mean, I've known guys that have gotten released because they didn't tip their clubby.
Yeah,
So,
man.
you know,
You gotta be nice. You gotta be nice to them, man. They're good dudes, man.
absolutely. So you were able to ball out. I remember, hearing it when you came back. You had a great camp, out there in Cali, which is great. Whenever you come from Chicago, your body feels amazing, right? Like, you hit the heat and you're like, I can throw 400 feet. I
You
can
could
hit
breathe.
400 feet. Yeah, it's a great feeling. So, you signed. So what was it? What was that interaction like? When who came up to you? Was it Ronnie Biga? So Ron Biga was the one that signed me out in Windy City back in my day. But which coach was it that approached you and said, "Hey, we're interested in you," or how did that come about?
I believe it was one of the guys that ran the league.
Okay.
So I started off a little slow. I'm not gonna lie. During that, like the first couple games, I was still getting like used to just playing. But I think around the third game, I was like, okay, like back into play mode. Like let's go.
Yeah.
I kind of took off from there, and I just started to enjoy it more where I was at. I started being in the moment. Like, man, I'm in this beautiful spot playing baseball at this time of year. Like, it's a blessing. So around, I think with 2 to 3 weeks left in the winter league, one of the guys came up to me and was like, "Hey, some teams showed some interest. One of them is Windy City. They'd like to give you a call." And one thing led to another. The manager hit me up, and I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm down. Let's sign this thing." Then the commissioner ended up giving me a contract to sign with 2 weeks left in the camp.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Do you got that contract still? Do you got it framed somewhere, or at least somewhere in the documents? Because that's a big deal, man, and it's not a lot of money. I don't know how much you were getting, but I mean, $600 a month. $600. That's way less than minimum wage once you actually factor it in. And luckily, minor leagues are getting through. They're talking about forming a union and things along those lines. But what did the amount show for you, man? How much? At least on the contract, what were you planning to make?
The rookie league minimum $600, brother.
There you go. Yep. Yes, sir.
And it's funny because my dad's like, you should really read through the contract. Read through the contract. I'm like, man, I ain't read nothing.
If you don't hit 300, you got to pay them $600.
Yeah, I was like, man, this is. I'm just excited to sign. Give me. Where do I initially?
Right. I'll sign over my kidney. You need me to write this in blood, like whatever it takes. I don't care. Yeah, because my dad did the same thing. He's like, well, read it over. See if you have to hit a certain thing, amount or whatever. And I didn't care. Yeah, I was like, just sign me up. This is the dream, right? And it's so awesome to hear that you had the similar experience. But once you signed that contract, did you finish out camp there, or did you pack it up and come back to the city?
No, I finished out. We actually. So it's cool. What's cool about that league also is like they have a playoff and a championship at the end, and my team ended up making it the championship. We ended up losing. It was actually like a high scoring game.
Who'd you lose to?
Oh, it was so I was on the Palm Springs Power. We lost to the Bombers.
Okay.
We lost to the Bombers, who was also a really good team. It was us and them that were like the powerhouses of the league for sure. Like we had a lot of talent on my team, and so did they. And it's cool because the managers are the ones that pick the players.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they do some digging on there. Yeah, they draft their own team. So I think.
Could you imagine if there was a draft at men's leagues?
Right, it'd be crazy.
Every year, that would be wild. That might be an idea. That might be an idea.
Talk about trying to have the number one overall pick, right? Like who would they take? Probably a pitcher.
So then you signed with Windy City. What would you say, whether it's in spring training or whatever? What's your favorite moment? If you had to just pick one, your favorite moment of just being introduced to pro ball, however long it is. Some people have a cup of coffee like I did. Some people are in the minor league grind for years, and kudos to them, right? So it's like, what was if you had to pick one, what's your favorite moment in pro ball, which is like, I'm gonna remember this forever. I'm gonna tell my kids about it, anytime that anyone talks to me about pro ball, this is the story I'm going to.
Oh man. Well, unfortunately, I only spent 2 weeks, but like,
Okay,
so a little more than a cup of coffee. But honestly, when
Iced
I
coffee.
legit. But honestly, when I first stepped in the locker room, it was like, man, like I'm here. And then I tried to I tried to introduce myself to. I think I didn't know at the time, but he was an affiliate ball, got released, and then they picked him up. The Windy City Thunderbolts picked him up that following spring, and he had his headphones in. And I was like, "What's up, man?" And I introduced myself, and he just nods at me. He goes,
You big league, dude.
"Big league me." Put his headphone back in. I'm like, "Yep, this is where I'm at."
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Windy City. So one of my best friends, Matt Jernstedt, he was on the Windy. I think you guys might have played against him. He was on Windy City's championship team. I think in 08. The Windy City team that won it.
Mhm.
They had like Billy Petrick straight from like the Cubs. You remember Billy Petrick? He's like from Morris. He's like 6'9", like just through cheddar. I remember watching. He's a big pitcher. He struck out Barry Bonds.
Oh man, the name doesn't sound familiar. Honestly, I'm surprised. I don't know.
Might be a little. That's probably your generation, Jesse. You know,
Oh, geez.
I
mean, they okay. I got man, Dylan Axelrod. You remember Dylan Axelrod?
Yeah, that sounds. Yeah, Axelrod.
So they had him. They had Petrick. You know JT Resco that played in Juarez for many years.
Yeah. I know JT.
They had him, dude. They were loaded that year, bro. And those are big league dudes. You know,
Yeah.
so
Frontier League, they get some dudes, man. And that was before I was with them, before they were even tied to MLB at all, you know, whether they were a partner league. And it was a lot of guys that were getting released from, AAA, AA that were still young. So kind of that was the young league, which was Frontier League. And then the older you got, then it would be the American Association, you know, the Atlantic League. That was the biggest league. The Atlantic League on the East Coast, that's where you're going to get a lot of ex-MLB players that just get released. They go to the Atlantic League. They'll get some really great talent down there. They've had guys in the Atlantic League that have played in the World Baseball Classic. Obviously, we know all our, you know, my boy from a while ago, Joey Marciano. You know, he played on Team Italy as a pitcher, you know, and just in the last Classic. So, you know, the Frontier League, they produce some dogs, man. But, you know, whether it's a short cup of coffee, a long cup of coffee, nevertheless, you got a professional baseball contract. And there's so many people. There's such a small percentage of people that can say that. So congratulations again, man. You know, I'm glad that I was able to, you know, kind of view it, you know, from afar, but, you know, and seeing you kind of, you know, flourish after that, you know, because it's a big transition in my opinion. And that's kind of what I want to go into next, which is, you know, after pro ball's done, you got to get acclimated to, if you want to continue to play the game, you got to get acclimated to men's league. And it's a totally different world, right? You were getting, you know, you were used to waking up, maybe at 9 a.m, getting to the field, doing your BP, getting ready for the game. But now, you know, maybe you're waking up at 8 a.m. after a night out, you know, after a late night or whatever it may be, and now you got to show up at the field at 9 a.m. You got to bring the fire, right? You got these guys at Petrowski that are just calling you every name in the book right behind you, right? And you know, especially coming from a baseball family like your dad, you know I had a lot of hate coming at me. And, you know, what was that transition like? Because I struggled, man. I came in thinking I was a big shot. And, you know, I struggled, you know, at the beginning. What was that transition like for you, you know, ending pro ball and getting into the men's league?
It definitely humbles you a little bit, that's for sure. Because you got maybe a 47-year-old pitcher on the mound, and, you know, he's just a junk baller, and he gets you on a weak ground ball or a weak fly out, and you're like, you gotta be kidding me, man. Like, I was facing 95.
Like, kind of like, are you talking about our future guest here?
Right.
I've gotten me out multiple times. Just dicing me.
Just dicing it. But that's what's cool. That's what's cool about the game, though. And men's leagues, like, you don't, you know, it doesn't matter where you played or where you came from. Like, you know, you can get diced or you can get taken deep by anyone. It's pretty cool in my opinion. But like I said, it is humbling. Like man.
Yeah.
I was just facing a dude who was throwing 95 2 months ago, and now I'm facing a dad with 3 kids who just diced me up.
Yeah, he was out all night, and he's got three.
He just came in for Bender.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse than being that guy as well. That's like, oh man, if it was 95, I would hit it. It's so slow I can't hit it. Regardless, man, you should be able to hit anything. If you can hit 95, you can make an adjustment. But that shows you, the players that can make an adjustment and those who can't. So, you came in from what I remember, kind of picked up where you left off, and we started winning some championships again. So, you come back into men's league ball. Is that just so? Then is it just Nuevo Leon that you're playing with right away? At Petrowski for Benito Juarez, or is there any other teams that you're playing on? Simultaneously.
Yeah, it was always Nuevo, and then I joined the Chicago Rippers with Jake Mills.
You guys go to a tournament, right? In Wisconsin?
So Jake would have us play the Sheboygan A's, which is like a collegiate team.
To lead off the second, that Walker had to make a long run and catch it. And that ball is hit the
I remember this
right
shit. Let's go.
hand out of
I
here.
remember watching this shit. I was like, picked up where you left off, dog.
That was a good piece. Not gonna lie, that was a good piece. That's a cool place to play too. Out in Sheboygan.
Was that for FanFest?
No, it was they're just a small like college team, but they also have a couple like grown men on their team that still play.
Man, Sheboygan, and they run deep in baseball. They love it. You can hear the announcers as well. I'm going to be playing with the Pumas this year, and I think we got FanFest Day out in Sheboygan, so we're going to be going out there. I think the end of May, beginning.
New Lennox Pumas?
Yeah, New Lennox. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Mark Ayers. Yeah, so I went. We just went down to Puerto Rico to play in that Caribbean tournament with Luigi. Luigi's an umpire throughout the city. And then Mark Ayers, yeah, he was the other coach on the team, and he's for New Lennox. So, luckily I had a good tournament, and I'm going to be making out a couple games for sure. But ultimately, just want to help these kids out. There's so much talent, and kids can get really in their heads about what they need to do to perform. And as we know, if you keep it simple, man, you're going to be consistent. So. That's a great league. I saw that bomb, man, and I was super hyped when I saw that. That was awesome, and to do it at that stadium as well, and that field, that had to feel pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it was cool because there's in right field, there's like a neighborhood, and like right outside the right field fence, there's a couple roofs, and I think that ball landed on one of the roofs.
You're disturbing people's peace, man.
So I have a cool picture right here. He's one of my teammates from this past year who's actually in the photo. It was I want to say 2015, or I think it's this picture. I think you might have still been in high school, or 2017.
Yeah.
Oh,
this is the orange jerseys. Yeah, 2017.
This is after my freshman year.
Your freshman year of college?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is your freshman year of college, and the catcher here is Julian. From the White Sox, who's still balling out here. I think he's in the Blue Island League this year with the champs. He was with the White Sox in Washington Park in Azteca. And he played a little pro ball himself. He does training out of right here on 127th, I think, with the Prestige Ball Club. Runs his own catching instruction called Juice. I think it's Juiced Up. My son used to go there for some catching instruction. But I mean, that's 2017. That was when you guys won the championship, right?
Yes, we did win the championship. That was a solid year.
Who'd you guys beat?
I'm pretty sure it was that was the Barker year.
Yeah, it was you.
I think it was the Barker year.
Hey, man.
Bro.
Man. Sometimes you can hang with us, sometimes you can't.
Great series, though. It was a great series. Man.
That was a good series. That lefty you guys had. You had the lefty with the long hair. Wasn't he?
Was that Jim?
Jim.
I don't know.
Man, I saw him. He dances. He loves to dance, by the way. I was with him with so Joey Fromm, who used to play on the team, and actually put me up in San Francisco when I moved out there for 2 years, man. Shout out to Joey. We were at District, and we saw Jim just randomly posted up on the wall at the basement of District, which if you know District, the basement gets pretty ratchet. And Jim is just dancing his ass off. And I haven't seen him since the championship. I'm like, Jim? Great guy. Yeah, he's a solid lefty. He's one of those funky guys, right? coming from the side, and man, sometimes those lefties are filthy.
For sure. We got another picture here. This is a little old. I think this was 2019. You look a little fuller.
No, this might have been this year actually.
This was this year?
Yeah, because I got
Damn.
that white helmet like last year, I think. Or yeah, it was this past year.
Oh yeah, because you're rocking Bruce Bolts. Those just came out like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've been around, man. I've seen you.
That was probably that had to be new. I don't remember that helmet, but I mean, we've won a couple championships, man. But one of the biggest moments, that I remember, at least back to back, for some reason, like I said, I was batting leadoff, you were batting behind me, and we played the Cardinals in the Ship. I think this was out in 2019, and they had their ace on the mound, which was Joba at the time, and Joba used to throw a lot harder for sure, and he's still doing his thing out in Blue Island, but we would always go back and forth, kind of all of us. Joba would get us, but then we would get him. And luckily, we landed 2 in a row. We started game 2. I think we won the first game, and he comes on the mound, and he probably pitched the game before. Who knows? Joba just got that rubber arm. And I went yard. He pitched me up and inside, took that over the left field fence. And then Andy comes up next, a couple pitches deep over the right field fence, right? I think yours was probably a little farther than mine. I don't remember, but I remember yours was hit on a line, right?
Yeah, I think it like barely like grazed the orange fence.
Yeah,
it had some give to it.
Luckily, those fences are flexible. Yeah.
In that left, right? Are you talking about right center right there? Graze the fence.
Yeah, he grazed right there. You see that?
He pieced that one up, and they were both solo home runs. So we did our trot, but after us too, it's still 2-0. It's a long ball game. So we had to
real quick.
down.
I gotta shout out a couple of people while we keep going with this conversation. Remember where we're at? We're still talking about men's baseball here with Andy Gaytan. Talk about this picture here. You're hitting the gap. You're diving out there. It's a beautiful field. Like the outfield at Juarez is actually really nice. I like it. Not that I've ever been in it, but with the fences since 2013 when they put them up, it's been it's a good league. But real quick, I want to shout out here one of our sponsors. With the web gem, we got Tony Sanchez's Midfix. You can find him over on IG at Sanchez Midfix. He's literally fixing every single baseball player in the Chicagoland area's glove. Like if you go through this, it's insane. He just fixed mine up. I gotta shout him out here. He's got my brand new Rizzo glove I'm gonna use for the year with, he does it all. That's a brand new one going to relacing and, breaking it in for me. The guy does great work. He's out of Joliet. He'll go ahead and just drop it off. You pick it up. Hit him up at Sanchez Midfix at IG. Tell him you iRake Mentality Podcast sent you. And that's a shout out for him. And there he is. There's the glove work right there. What do you rock? Rawlings or A2000?
Oh, that glove is a Rawlings. I got that from Bowling Green. That was for the free ski. We get a free glove every year.
Yeah. What if they give you like a righty thrower? He goes, sorry, you got to use your arm. Imagine they do you like that.
Here's your free glove. Take it or leave it.
He goes, what? Like your jersey, bro. I keep looking at your Bowling Green jersey. Dude, that must have been like the one they had in the back. It's like a 2X.
So real quick, when the head coach called me, he goes, he gave me a call and he says, here, the equipment manager is going to hit you up. And the equipment manager at Bowling Green, his name's Scooter. Call him Scoot. And great dude, man. Great dude. Typical equipment guy, man. Love the guy. But he goes, what number you want? I go, man, honestly, give me whatever you got. Like I'm just excited to, being able to play ball. So just whatever. And I think every jersey besides like maybe 1 through 9 is medium, and then the rest is like X large or like XL after that.
So you had to get in the gym, bro.
And so the sleeves on that jersey is like down to my wrist. And if you look at their jerseys now, like it's completely different. Completely different.
Like I have this video here. I think this is a web gem. Yeah, this is another over the shoulder, right?
No, that's me hitting.
Oh, that's you
Yeah.
hitting. Okay, there you go.
Get out the box.
That's
Yeah.
a triple.
But that's
Man,
but I relate to that so much, and unfortunately Jesse can't. Maybe when he was 185, like he said. But as a small guy, 5'10" on my baseball card. But
yeah, right.
I'm 5'10" when I have cleats on. But I relate to that so much because there are so many big jerseys out there, and it's like as a smaller guy, you want to look bigger, but these damn jerseys are so big. So I relate to that so much. I mean. Finding those jerseys. Usually it's the smaller numbers that have the smaller sizes. And then, yeah, like you said, so were you just stuck in a baggy jersey for your entire career, basically, until you hit men's league?
Well, my ones at Triton, the ones at Triton fit nice in the same state. But there was just something special about that Bowling Green uni, just seeing me, a little guy wearing that XL. I think it was a double XL actually.
Mm-hmm.
But it was cool, man. Shout out Bowling Green, man. I love that place. They're actually a really good program. Kyle Halleck over there, head coach. Shout out Kyle Halleck and Matt Remblack, the assistant over there too. Man, they built something special since I've been there. We were actually his first team, the head coach there. He took it over in 21. We were his first team, and ever since then, man, they've made some incredible strides, and now they're one of the top teams in the MAC and even in the country.
That's awesome. Yeah, they've always had a pretty prestigious reputation, but that's awesome. You got to go through there. Just going off a comment we just had, just because I saw him comment this on my episode. Yeah, we didn't get to it. So Kevin Curtin, this guy, just another guy with the rubber arm. He loves to go to the festivals. You might find some footage of him out there at a festival, but. We might as well address this right here in, top 10 parks. That's a lot. I don't know.
Top five. We still got to get our guests on.
We had to say, let's just say top 3 men's leagues, parks in Illinois that you enjoy playing at, and then maybe even 1 or 2 that you do not like playing at. What would you say that those are?
Oh, man.
No one's going to get hurt, I promise.
Petrowski, hands down, number 1.
South or north?
South. You got to go south. Something about the vibes in the north is weird.
It's with the poolside one. Yep.
Some of the vibes on the north field is just not the same as the south. Maybe it's because the taco lady.
Yeah, the tacos is what brings everyone together, bro.
Yeah, that's the breakfast at 9 a.m. in the morning.
or lunch.
Petrowski's number 1, Southfield. What do you got 2 and 3?
Oh, man. You guys ever played Howie Minus?
Yeah.
You never played Howie Minus in Midlothian?
Midlow. Yeah, Midlow.
Midlow? That would probably be one of my worst, actually. I did not like playing there at all.
Is that Eisenhower High School?
It's a big field. It's a big field.
No, it's what's that street, man?
Howie Minus.
Right by Bremen High School. Probably 5 or 10 minutes from Bremen High School.
Oh, okay.
By the train track.
And your third?
Oh, man. Bensonville. I like the one on Bensonville. Where Robert Morris used to play
the stadium.
Yeah.
That's I forget what it's called, but I know what you're talking about. The Bensonville one.
Yeah, the Bensonville field. I like playing there. It
gets dusty over there, bro. They don't water the field.
Yeah, sometimes it's weird. It's like a hit or miss. You got some people out there that are working on the fields, and then some days they're just like, yeah, screw it.
Have you ever played at Burbank?
Never played at Burbank.
At St. Lawrence?
No. At St. Lawrence?
Yeah, the ball flies.
Oh, I think I played at St. Lawrence in high school.
Yeah.
It's a bigger field, ain't it?
Well, we use their sophomore field.
Okay.
So their sophomore field that ball is I think the fences are 325.
Oh, okay.
The wind's always blowing out most of the time. You would love that field.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, a lot of fields, a lot of fields, they just really level out, right? Like they're going to be pretty standard.
Kevin says,
It's only when they're really bad you can. Oakton's another good one. Yeah,
Gaytan is another good one.
Oakton's
Oakton's
solid.
cool. If it wasn't for us playing at midnight when you go to play at Oakton.
Oh my God, we played games. We played games where the game starts at 9:30.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That's what it has on the schedule, 9:30
Mhm.
on a Wednesday night. Like,
Coming from the south side, bro.
yeah, or at least put the 55-year and older because they're all retired. They don't have games tomorrow. Like, get us a
midnight
little,
too.
yeah, man, tough times, but good stuff, man. I know we touched on men's leagues a little bit. We've won some championships. We've had some good times, man. You've played on the Rippers, you've played on the Aces, you played on Nuevo Leon, a few other teams here and there, but love that we can go into it. Kind of one of the last things I wanted to touch on before we bring in your guest, is ultimately, kind of what the vibe of the show is iRake mentality, right? So we like to learn about hitters and what they think about in the box. A lot of times I know that when I get in the box, I don't hear anything, right? I tune everything out. Doesn't matter who's yelling at me, right behind me in the backstop. I don't hear anything, right? And I have a mentality of pretty much being, aggressive, which a lot of hitters are. But I'd love to learn about what your mentality is, going in there. Obviously, everything's situational, depends on the game. But stepping in that box as a lefty with speed, sneaky power, you can handle it on defense as well. So you have that confidence. What's your mentality going in the box? Nobody's on base, right? What are you looking for first pitch? What's your mentality throughout the whole entire at bat? Love to learn a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so man, as soon as I step in the box, or even it starts on deck, right? So when I'm timing up the pitcher, like I'm just getting in that zone, like, and you're just zoning in on the pitcher, timing him up, and being like, I just won't get beat.
Yeah,
I got to be a pest. I got to do whatever it takes to get on base here. And then once you step into the box, it's just like that takes over. And you're looking early in the count. I'm looking just for something elevated, something meaty, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, especially if like I have some teammates, juicing me up, say my name and cheer me on, like that just adds fuel to me.
Yeah.
But I just want to go in there and just be a pest, man. And I think half the battle of hitting is just being confident and being competitive. Because at the end of the day, you got to compete. It's me versus him. And you might get one or two good pitches, or he makes a mistake. So I mean, you got to be ready for anything. So I just love that battle between hitter and pitcher, and it is a chess game. Subconsciously, you start thinking stuff like, oh, he's gonna hang me one here. Oh, he's gonna throw that fastball. I know he's gonna throw that fastball, and once it comes and it's that perfect, and bam, you smash it, man. It's nothing like it. It's a great feeling.
Hell yeah. And it's being ready, right? It's being ready. And the good players that I've always been around, they might not have been the most talented, right? We all know dogs that are prepared, though, right? They're prepared. They're on deck, and maybe it's the last inning of a game, and they're counting. I'm that player. I'm counting batters. Oh man, am I going to hit the walk-off home run, right? This is going to be me. It's always been me. You've got to have that mentality, because if you slip up for a second, in my opinion, and you start thinking of, maybe it's not going to work out, it's not going to work out, right? Like you have to have all that confidence in the world. And that's what I love what you said, is that ultimately, you're being scrappy. It's a win, but ultimately I hear a big team player out of you as well, saying, hey, he's not going to get me, but also I represent my team and I got to do something to at least contribute. And that's my experience with you, man. Like I said, you've been in the outfield. We've played a good amount of ball together so far, and it's always progressing. You can tell those guys that are for the team that just want to progress, move the guys along at least, at a very bare minimum. So, that's a big thing out of respect that I got for you, man. But, appreciate you hopping on today. Would love to get into your guest if we don't have any more sponsors to shout out. But what do you think, Jesse?
Yeah, we'll have one last sponsor here. Right before your guest is your check with your guest. Make sure he's on the camera, please.
Yeah.
Other than that, we'll have this sponsor here with Inspire brand. Let me stop that. There we go. Share. All right. So Inspire brand here is brought to you by Mike Lacombe. He's one of my best friends that runs this company, Inspire brand. We're actually going to the Arnold Expo at the end of the month. For those that don't know what the Arnold Expo is, it's in Columbus, Ohio. It's bodybuilding, powerlifting. At the expo for all of that and health, fitness, all types of things. And they have their own bodybuilding competition. The Inspire brand has pain, stress, sleep, and focus products here. Edibles, tropicals, pet products. That's me right there. Where I take the sleep gummies because I'm not a big flyer. I don't like to fly. I take those right before I go on the plane, knock out, wake up. You can shop other products as well. Use code iRake Mentality for 20% off. Like I said, anything you got there. I have the products over my shoulder. Ryan, I've given you the pain stick. This is one of the ones baseball guys really do like. It's the CBD rejuvenation cream and the muscle recovery stick. This muscle recovery stick works wonders. I still use it every day. My knees, they don't hurt as much anymore, if not at all. Definitely use it on my hamstrings right before the game. The bath soak, take baths with it. You recover with it, and then you have other stuff like that. With that, the last one here is going to be Massimo's Holistics, and I want to shout out my boy. It's my dog's brother, who is he's renowned in the industry now. He's doing great things. His name is Massimo, and Massimo came out with his own product line called Massimo Holistics. IG_Massimo Holistics. Massimo has a big following on IG. He's got millions of views on a lot of his reels. He is a baseball dog at heart. He's come to a lot of our games. And one of the cool videos here, he's in Chicago watching our Yankee game, Ryan. With that, he's all over the place, but he does have the Massimo Holistics, which is right here. Finding it at Massimo Holistics, it's dog supplements, premium dog supplements, who he's the CEO of. Central Minimals, Multifunction, Skin and Coat Shoes. Give him a shout. Check him out on IG at Massimo's Holistics. So that's there. Is your guest ready to rock?
Yeah, his camera ain't working, so he's just gonna hop on with me.
Oh, we just bring him on in.
Hey. All right. Well, without further ado, you want to introduce your guest, Andy?
Yes, sir. This is Nino Gaytan, my pops, man, the OG. The man, the myth.
What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Rocking the Nuevo Leon hat. I love it. Nino, I haven't seen you in a while. It's great to see you.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. I'm getting old, man, and I'm feeling it.
I know. We got to share the field. I think the last game I was there, I saw one of your at-bats, man. So, I got to see you in the box again next year.
Hey, don't ask me no questions. I won't tell you no lies either.
I just don't want to see you on the mound ever again, man. I think you've gotten me out more times than I can count.
That's right, man. I was down in Florida in November, and when I got back, my elbow was just killing me.
Just killing.
Yeah, hey, you never know, Nino. There might be a scout somewhere there in the, the outfield or in the stands.
There the bats.
Yeah,
check that out.
I love it. Yeah, so with my experience, so I've played with Andy, obviously, and Nino as well. Keeping it in the family. Petrowski runs deep in our, in both of our families.
Oh yeah,
Gaytan,
your dad played a game with us.
I think so. Yeah, a couple of years ago, and Nino's got a lot of success. So kind of want to kick that off with you, Nino. Is what does Petrowski mean to you? How long have you guys been playing in the Benito Juarez League? And tell me a little bit more about what that league means to you guys.
I've been playing since I was maybe 15, maybe.
Wow.
What do you call
it?
Right,
so a couple years ago, 15, 17 years ago.
Douglas Park, played there, played at McKinley, Harrison Park, at UIC in the summer. We played there a few years, 3 or 4 years there. So so it's man, it's been a long. I'm 65. I'm going to be 66 in May. So I played with Jesse Senior too. He was in and out too. A lot of some of the teams. But well, no, always mainly La Barca though.
Yeah.
You never played on La Barca?
Yeah. He's as a matter of fact, I don't know. I should have gave you guys that picture. It was at Harrison Park. It was, God, I don't remember some of them guys. You know, as a matter of fact, I met a pitcher. He's a lefty. He's a younger guy. He's an ex-cop. He just retired. He said, and he was on La Barca. He was a young guy back then.
Yeah.
Harrison Park, and I met him. Last year. We were playing, and I played with a team called Mexico. I don't know if you know that team, Jess.
Yeah.
And
There's a few Mexico teams, but yeah, I remember that one
yeah,
specifically.
we started last year with it. What's his name? Tony Cifuentes. He's got the team. And I met this guy, and I see how he's pitching. I said, "Hey, look at that guy. I know him. His name is Rich."
Yeah.
And we played together with Jesse on La Barca back in the day.
Man, maybe Andy one day will play for La Barca. What do you think, Andy?
Amen.
Hey, like he says, play me or trade me.
Trade me.
Great date. Yeah. Love it. I love it. What would you say, Nino? I know you've been a part of some good, championship squads, but are there any that kind of stand out to you, whether that's with Andy or aside, when you were younger, that really stand out to you as really great seasons that go down in the history books for you?
God, Ryan, I wish I could remember, man. It's I know with the Giants, we had a couple of that was like some of the best teams,
Oh, the Giants.
I remember Dave, what's his name?
Gavin.
David Gavin.
Man, that guy, he was a beast, man.
He was a stud. He played for the Oakland organization.
Yeah, right.
I played on the Chicago Aztecs my first year when I was 18, and he was there. It was David Gavin, and yeah, he would always do his. He would have he used to have a baseball card where he was like really athletic, and he would always do that position every game.
Yeah, that guy
Look,
was
just like
awesome,
a baseball card. Yeah, he was a stud, man.
I forget what team he was playing on. I think I might have been with the Giants. I don't know. He before he played with us. And I was playing third base, and with them aluminum bats back then, they weren't BB cores. It was just regular aluminum. Man, he hit a shot down the line to me. I don't know how I caught that ball, man. On the ground, it was just not, and I just scooped it up, man. It was crazy. But he had
I remember grabbing his bat at Petrowski when I was younger, and he was swinging a 36. He was swinging a 36, 34 aluminum bat. And I don't know how he did it, but yeah, he would strike out every game. I'm not
throw him a curveball.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Even Rendon, right, Jess? You know Rendon.
Oh, I know Rendon. He was lightning.
He was, he played pro ball in Mexico, and you throw him a curveball, he get pissed off, man. He says, tira recta, cabrón. I said, no, I'm not throwing no fastballs at your head because you hit it. But yeah,
they get very mad when you throw them a bunch of junk. They want the fastball, right? Like you're just gonna let them hit it with metal bats. And I always said, I was like, I was about 19, 18 years old, playing men's baseball against the Orioles. And then you see a Gavin, a Jake Serrato with metal bats, and you're talking about like DeMarinis that could kill people, and they're just driving shots to the third baseline. And now that I think about it, I'm like, man, that was kind of crazy for me to be doing that. And I never wear a cup either, so
yeah, I don't like wearing a cup. But yeah.
Not a cup
back then, Orioles are good, man. They had a good team.
Do you recognize a lot of guys in this picture?
What's that?
You recognize a lot of guys in this picture here?
Oh man,
I think Rendon's right there in the blue hat next to the LB, second row, right in the middle.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I know some. A lot of them guys. Damn.
You're right in the front. That's you.
Vic's over there.
Vic. Speaking of Vic.
Shout out Vic Martinez.
Yeah, Vic. I played with Vic the last 4 years. Not the last not this last year, but the year before. I played 3 years with him in Florida. I would go down there. He lives in Tampa now, and this last year they didn't have a team because the guy that ran it couldn't run it no more. So I ended up going to Fort Myers to play there for the first time. So it was pretty cool.
Oh,
that's awesome. Yeah,
he's still pitching. He's a decent pitcher though. His knees ain't doing too good, but he's still throwing the ball, man.
I mean, the picture says 6 decades of playing ball. That's
right.
He was supposed to come down. He was supposed to come down with Luigi to Florida, to Puerto Rico.
Really?
Yeah, he was supposed to. Yeah, some things didn't work out, but Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while, but yeah, big shout out to Vic. He brought me over to Nuevo Leon back in the day, and it's been like
Crazy Paul. You know Paul Ochepka?
Paul. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Another guy. Yeah, we all played together, man. Yeah, he was a good catcher, decent catcher.
Paul's a great guy. If you would say Nino, I know you've been watching Andy play for a while.
Mhm.
Obviously, when he was younger, high school, college, pro, men's league, he's had a lot of success. What is one or two moments that stand out to you that you've really enjoyed watching him? Whether it's a play on the field, a bomb in the game. What are some moments that you remember watching Andy that were really significant to you?
Well, they played in high school. I think it was his senior year. They played against Homer Flossmoor out there. He was 5 for 5. I think you got a couple of doubles, 2 hits, a triple. He didn't get a homer though. But yeah.
Do you ever hit for the cycle?
No, I never hit for the cycle.
Never. I did it once when I was 12.
You did? Oh, wow.
It was at Harrison Park. I got pizza at Uncle's after.
Oh, there was no fences. You had to run.
I had to run and I was 12. Imagine that. I was dead, but I fell right into that pizza when my dad took me.
I don't know the second time. I don't know. I can't remember. There was a lot of good games he played, but I mean, man, he made some fantastic catches too out in the outfield. I've seen. Jesus, I couldn't believe it.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's a difference. There's a difference between going 4 for 4 and 5 for 5. Yeah. There's just a big leg up. There's not a lot of guys there's a lot of guys that'll do 4 for 4, but in order to do 5 for 5, you got to be in it every single at bat.
Right.
The entire game, you got to be locked in, and that's a huge accomplishment. So on the other side of the spectrum, what's a funny moment? Maybe an embarrassing moment that Andy didn't want to go into, on the show, but maybe you remember, maybe he wore the wrong pants, or when he was a kid, or something embarrassing. You got anything for us?
Well, no, maybe when he got not high school, maybe college. He got picked off a couple of times.
You were leaning?
Yeah, you're leaning, trying to get thrown out in second.
That's the worst, man. Getting picked off has to be the worst feeling. Like, I've never been picked off just because they never test me. Maybe this year I might take an extra step. I don't know. They never throw over.
Wow. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm forgetting a lot of stuff too, man.
Tell him about when I threw the bat through the TV.
Oh God! I threw it
accidentally or on purpose?
He was 4 years old, and he was at home with my daughter, and I was at work. I was working afternoons at the time. And my daughter comes and says, "Hey, Dad, Andy broke the TV. It was one of these big screen TVs that first come out,
Oh, geez.
The big box on the back.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, what? I said, which TV? The big one. I said, oh, put him on the phone. So he gets the phone. Son, what happened? I don't want to talk right now, Dad. And he hangs up on me. And I started laughing, man. I just, what are you can't beat him up, man,
But there's a bat through the TV.
Yeah.
I always used to swing in the TV room.
Show him that stick. Where's that stick?
So it's a projector TV, right? So it's probably really easy to get.
Yeah, it was a projector.
Yeah.
This is a stick that he was hitting in my mom's yard when he was a kid.
Oh, that with that first picture?
Yeah, my mom actually gave him those so you can swing it. And,
how does your mom know that's what you need to use when you're learning is a stick?
It's a little bamboo. Crazy. It's a little bamboo stick. There you go. That's it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh no, that's a bat. But he used to use this one.
Yeah.
And, this is the one my mom used to hit us with. We didn't behave.
It's still passed down.
Yeah, that's
she signed it down there. No big deal.
Right. But yeah.
So we're talking about a little bit of Nuevo Leon. Do you remember this picture? I hear a lot about this guy. I faced this guy. I have a story about facing him. Has to be one of the best pitchers, I think, before my time. And he beat us, I think, when we were nasty, and he ended up joining the Dominican team and beating us just with junk after junk at this point. But I heard he was really good. Do you remember this guy? George Rodriguez? Jorge?
Oh, yeah, Jorge. Yeah, he's a good pitcher.
How good was he? Because he beat us when he was already older. I could only imagine how good he was when he was younger in his prime.
Yeah, he was a good pitcher. I think his changeup and curveball was really great.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't throw really, really hard, but he knew how to pitch. He was like a Maddox guy, in pitching. So yeah, Jorge, yeah, he was a good pitcher.
That was the All-Stars in 91.
Wow.
That was the All-Star tournament in 91, I guess.
Okay. I don't know if I was playing that year. 91. I don't think
That's my dad at shortstop.
Is that him?
Yeah, that's him at short.
What park was that at?
I think that's a tournament maybe in either Rockford or somewhere
Maybe, yeah.
somewhere not in the city because there's no barns in the city.
Right. Country somewhere, yeah.
So you guys were both all three of you actually. We were a part of a dynasty. It is a dynasty when you win 3 in a row. Not many teams do that. The Bravos did it at Azteca. They won 3 in a row a few years ago. I don't know other teams that the Orioles have their obviously 10 and whatever it is. I don't like to talk about the Orioles. A lot of bad memories.
Oh.
A lot of losses.
They had a good team, man.
Yeah. But we're gonna show some slides here. I know Kevin Curtin's in here and a couple other guys. This team right here, the 2015 Nuevo Leon. There you are, Andy. What were you in 2015? Like in high school?
Oh man, yeah, I was.
No, you were in high school.
I was a junior in high school. Yeah.
And it's funny. I was looking at that picture. Everyone's smiling, and just like at the end of the year that you guys lost, but like the championship, and the only one that's not smiling is Andy. He's pissed.
Yeah.
He's mad. He just lost the shit.
Was that the White Sox?
We lost to the White Sox.
When you made that catch?
Yeah.
Oh, he made a badass catch in right field and went over the fence, and the home umpire called it a home run.
Oh my!
How could you call that? He caught it and he went over the fence.
I freaking hate that.
And
that's why you lost.
Yeah.
That's how you lost.
Well, it contributed for sure because
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly, but it was a close game.
It was a
and
great catch in there.
that was a deciding factor for sure.
Yeah. I don't know if that umpire's still umping. I forget his name. He's not umping no more at Nuevo Leon. He might be at Washington, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I see Brian. I see Edwin. I see Joey Fromm. I see.
Yeah.
That was the beginning, right? That was like where it was starting.
That was, yeah.
That was.
Oh, that's Rika too. Who's Rika?
Yeah, that was Rika, right?
Yeah.
Man,
So Rika right now. Last year he was the right fielder for the Sauces in Azteca.
Oh, okay.
And then he was I believe he played. I want to say,
played on Gavilanes.
Gavilanes in Burbank.
Okay.
He got hurt because he had surgery, and there was a ball that actually hit him in that area that he got surgery. So he was down for a little bit last year when we played at Crestwood at Windy City. But he was able to get up, and thankfully he was okay. But man, I've played with him since my first year in the league. When I was 18 at the Chicago Aztecs, and I can't say enough good things about Rika. Man, he plays the game the right way. He plays it hard every single play, and he's humble. And in my opinion, the best players are. Me, Andy, Rika. We know what we can do on the field, and I've always enjoyed playing with him and Andy. So yeah, shout out to Rika, man. He's a stud.
So then you got the 2017 team here. This one's painful to look at myself, but this is when Jason Rivero. There's Kevin here on the right.
Yeah, Jason. Yeah.
Jason. Yeah. You had
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Matty O. This is that lefty, right? That did pretty good in the championship against us.
Jim. Yeah.
You had Mike Reevy. Is that you, Andy, right here? Yeah, next to
Reevy.
Yeah.
Next to Reevy. Yeah, man. You guys and Jonathan. You guys had Jonathan. I didn't even realize. Yeah, John.
Oh man, who's in the lower right hand corner? Is that
this guy?
Darius?
Yeah,
yeah, that's Darius.
That is Darius. I saw a guy that looked exactly like him in Puerto Rico, and I sent him a video because I was like, "What are you doing down here?" And he's Puerto Rican too, but it looks exactly like him. Shout out Darius, man. He's so aggressive. I love.
He's Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
So this was the beginning of like your dynasty, right? You guys were coming that year. I'll never forget. You guys were like in the middle, and then I think that was before Andy came back from college, and like Maddie came back from college. So you started getting good. I'm like, man, who do they have? Like, I was like, you're climbing the rankings. We were the 1 seed all the way through the year. We were beating everybody up by 10, 15 runs. Like that year, we had a really good team. And I keep seeing you guys climbing. Like I still hadn't been able to see you. And then to the championship, I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, they got Dave Arnold, and then Maddie's back, and obviously you, Andy, are back, and then Ryan showed up, for his first game of the year in the championship. And no, I'm just joking.
My first game there, I told you that was the last game Caballo ever played there because I hit 2 bombs off him.
Oh, you were there that year.
Carlos Rivera, rest in peace. He kicked his ass out, and they were arguing back and forth. Derek Taylor was the catcher for that, and he threw out Londo, and Orlando never came back to Petrowski after that. So,
but that was also Joe Fram's last year, right?
That as well, yeah.
He left the champion finally because he was always wanting that ship. I remember he was a dog. Joe Fram, man. Good ball player.
He's a decent pitcher too.
Joey Crack.
So this is
there we are.
Number 2?
Yeah, is it?
Or number 3?
No, this is 2.
This is back to back with the. Is this the Pirates one? Where you guys beat the Pirates?
Yeah,
might have been. Yeah,
I think it was.
Yeah, this is the back to back year. You had Israel. You had Israel for both.
Yeah, it is.
Izzy?
Izzy's come through in some clutch situations.
Yeah,
Izzy's awesome.
Hey, he saved our butts big time, man. Shout out to Izzy.
Izzy's a dog himself, and there you guys are up in the middle. And where's Ryan?
There you
go, right here.
Right above Joey, yeah.
Right behind Joey.
Right by O.
And you guys, and then you still had Ruben. He was still in town. That team was good. Sergio.
Yeah.
And Adam, and then I think this is the actual team picture.
Okay.
Um,
And you had who else is this right here?
Oh, we had Larry Glutes, man, on that team. Remember
Larry
Glutes?
Who's Larry
He was
Glue?
busting out of those pants, man.
Oh, him right here?
the catcher.
Yeah, he played for the Evansville Otters. He played in the Frontier League as well.
Okay.
He was just so strong and solid, man. He was a stud too.
Yeah, because once you won the first time, the second team was even better. Because now you guys were like, okay, we won. Now you're just taking over. And that was, I think, the last year. I think I was in Benito Juarez with La Barca. It was this year. Because then you win one more, or the next one's COVID, right? Or you win one more and then COVID.
Yeah.
And then I think I have here 2020. This is when I played with you guys.
23.
Yeah,
that was 2023 when you won the home run derby.
Okay.
We had Joe P. You had Joe P. there, and then you had when the Pirates disbanded, you had Danny. I think you still have Danny.
Shout out to Danny, man.
Danny, man, he's
that guy, man. He's
he's a good guy. Good infielder. Yeah.
Who else do we have here? Let me see. We have this one. This is 2024. This is last year.
Yeah.
I missed the picture.
You missed the picture last year?
There's Polaco. Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you guys have. Adam was catching. Damn, Adam's still going strong.
8-ball, man.
8-ball, man.
There
Coming from Woodstock.
you go. And then Jay Lavender joined you guys.
Okay.
That's when Vic was here when he came to pitch. Yeah. Okay. I remember.
Oh, there he is, right there.
Yeah, he's right next to me. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he came back last year for a trip.
Yeah, he came back. He pitched. Yeah, he pitched a couple. He pitched like 5 innings. Did you go to that game?
No, I wasn't there.
We have other pictures here that I was able to this is some former Nuevo Leon guys. Right here. We got Dave Arnold, MVP of 2018, maybe?
That was 19. Yeah.
19?
I remember, yeah, because I was me and him were talking because I hit a 3-run bomb to put us ahead, but he just tanked on one. I don't know if it was a grand slam or something. And he was like, I'm getting the MVP. And yeah, he got it. Good for him, man.
Who'd you guys beat in the third one?
Cardinals.
Yeah.
Dude, so you went through La Barca, the Pirates, and the Cardinals for your 3?
Yeah.
Damn, that's a dynasty, bro, for sure. Yeah. And then you got good old Mike Reevy.
Mike.
Is this his MVP or is this someone else's MVP?
It's probably someone else's.
Oh, okay, because I thought it was like his 10th MVP or something.
I wouldn't doubt it. And maybe he had an amazing game. Sometimes he has those games where he's just lights out. He's getting everyone to roll over, and shortstop and third baseman are having a field day. So, I wouldn't put it past it.
Yeah, he's a legend. And then we have Jay Rivero.
Okay, yeah.
Man,
Jay, yeah.
Beast. He should come back to playing. He should come back to play.
He's not playing though, huh?
I don't think so. I think he
He
might want to.
I think.
Did he?
He got injured, I think, a couple years ago.
yeah,
Oh,
he's
that's
always
right.
had some back issues.
Orlando.
Yeah, some surgeries. But
That's
Jason's
all.
such a big guy. When he gets
There's
older,
Andy back there. Very faint. That's you in the back talking to Matt.
In the back.
Oh yeah,
Man, I think I got a cerveza in my hand.
yeah, like how many tacos are we getting, man?
That was before the game.
Believe it or not.
Then you got Rhino.
Another one, man. Yeah, me and Gunner. I think Gunner was a part of that one. Maybe.
But
He was
Ryan, they couldn't even give you your number, bro. Like you couldn't.
No, I gotta pay respects, man. Whoever has 13 before me, I gotta earn my stripes just like anybody else.
Who does have 13? I know, Leon.
Yeah, 15 is close enough, but yeah, no, was blessed enough to be a part of the squad, and played with obviously Andy,
Big.
Dave,
Yeah.
everyone.
Lefty big.
I like this picture. So, this picture here I like a lot. I want to talk about it because that's what baseball is all about. A lot of with a lot of these young guys. Now everyone just wants to, talk back and forth about who's the best, who's this. And at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. What matters is the guys that you're with, having fun and building core memories for, our sons and ourselves and being able just to be around the guys every day because baseball is not going to last forever. One day we're going to be done.
Yeah.
And when you look back at the end of the day, it's, the guys being around a table, eating cake and tacos and drinking beer and talking and looking forward to every single Sunday going. When you're in college growing up, you kind of, take that for granted. You skip a couple games because you drank too much or I'll be there next week. Don't worry about it. Yeah, we all have. And as you get older, I'm 38 now, and I realize, like, man, I don't like missing games because those are memories that I'm missing out on. Like, what could happen today? Like, who's going to make a play? What am I going to remember? Maybe I do something good, or what are we going to do after the game? Are we, hanging out? I'm a big proponent of hanging out after the game. I'm not a just show and go guy. I hate doing that.
Yeah.
It's like, I love to be there and just till the sun goes down. I'm the last guy leaving the park. Because I think that's what it's about, And I grew up watching Nino and my dad and all these older guys that's what they would do. They would hang out.
Some of the older guys that used to play still go watch, Petrowski. They hang out over there by right field underneath the tree.
Yeah, because you just want to be at the park. Yeah. Like, even if you're not playing, you want to be around baseball.
Joey Pantoja, his uncle, his dad, they played ball too. I remember them playing. They were playing at Douglas. Man, I remember his uncle was playing second base. He was a short guy, and he had this nice little Wilson mitt, beautiful little mitt. And then there, in between innings, he'll put it in his back pocket. He'll stuff it in his back pocket. That's how small that mitt is. And I love those mitts, man. I got a couple of them.
Yeah. That's the beautiful thing is that baseball just means so many different things to different people, right? I mean, we have, something that I took pride on, going into Petrowski, which was, there's a lot of guys who, you can't afford. And that's what we ran into, me and you, Andy, Windy City, which is the blue collar, demographic. Sometimes that is their family day, right? They only have $20 to spend on a Friday night to bring their kids to the ballpark to see us play. Man, if you weren't running that 90 feet down the first base line, they were chewing you out down the first base line. They're telling you to run. And it was very similar to Petrowski. And that's what I took a lot of pride in, which was a lot of the OGs that would stick around, like you said, Nino, that would watch the younger guys play. Sometimes that is their day. That is their Sunday morning before they have to go to work or after they get off a long shift. And there was some type of responsibility that you had to play hard, hustle in and off the field. And that's what I really loved. And I really loved being a part of Nuevo Leon with you guys. And man, that's the beautiful thing about baseball. And hopefully we can keep carrying that on and
keep
building
carrying it on. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna do it. I can do it.
You're still doing it.
Yeah,
you're still out there.
Look at him! Look at him!
That was in Florida. Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, talking about nice baseball fields, man. Those are beautiful.
And you're still.
They gave me the MVP.
Look at him.
The MVP. You got the MVP for that tournament?
For my team voted me MVP on the team.
Oh, okay. Were you were pitching for sure, right?
I pitched a couple of games, not all games, just a few innings, and I played third base every game. And the first game was right there at JetBlue Park. There, the pitcher that was pitching, where's he at? Well, he told me right off the bat before the game. He says they're going to be hitting a lot of balls to you. And we played the championship team from last year, and they sure did. I got them. I must have had about eight ground balls hit to me. I mean, shots too, man.
How was your back the next day?
Well, we had a jacuzzi, so we were laying in
Because that's a lot of ground.
That's awesome.
And is this the Blues team that's playing in the Roy Hobbs League?
Yeah, there's quite a few guys. Yeah.
And that's the 55s?
No, this is the 60s.
The 60s. Okay.
Yeah, the 60s. Yeah. There's the matter of fact, I'm going to play with them this year again.
That's
So
awesome.
I think we're going to pick a couple of more guys up. Some Mexican guys that play over here with us. So they want
Take them to Florida.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, I've been telling Tony, Tony Fuente.
Yeah.
Fuente, yeah, I've been asking him. Maybe he'll come out this year.
Yeah, take as many as you can, put it together. You guys can do damage out there. I mean, you won it. You won this one?
No, we lost. As a matter of fact, it was a time limit. It was the top of the night. It was 10-9. We were up, and the umpire called the game off. I said, dude, why did you let them play? They batted, and then we were getting ready to bat, and you called the game off. Oh, it was game's over.
That sounds
1 minute, really? Oh, yeah.
What is this?
Oh, my goodness. I would just say, hey, you know what? Let's play without the Blues. Can we just let's finish this?
Yeah, no, you need the Blues. They're hard to find, bro.
This is Apaches. I played with them too. Joe Ramirez had this team. Yeah.
Oh, so this is Joe Ramirez Apaches from before he went to Skyscraper?
Yeah, actually, we were playing at the Skyscraper during this time too.
Wow, so that was a really good team then.
Yeah, the guy in the middle next to my left is my brother, my younger brother, Robert. He was
in the blue shirt?
Yeah, he was a pitcher.
Wow, so that's Andy.
Yeah. These two guys sitting down, what's his name? His name was, what was it? Oh, God. Two Puerto Rican guys. He was with the Seattle Mariners minor league team. And the other guy, I forget him too. He was in the minor leagues. I forget what team. So, yeah, we kind of picked him up. They know Orvin Colon.
Okay.
They're both of them are firemen. They might be retired already. I haven't seen them since, man.
Is that Victor on the cooler?
Yeah, that's Vic.
Damn.
And Johnny Elvis, we call him Johnny Elvis, right behind him in the cutoff shirt there, right next to me. Yeah, he was a good ball player.
What year was this?
God, 90s. Man, maybe 80s. In the 80s, I don't remember, man. To be honest with you.
Looking by the cards, maybe the 80s.
That was at Douglas Park. Yeah.
Douglas. I never played at Douglas, but I used to watch my dad play at
That
Douglas.
was a big league. They had like 1, 2, 3 or 4 baseball fields.
Was that called the Daniel Martin League?
Yeah, Daniel Martin.
That's the Daniel Martin League?
Yeah. And then when they did away with that league, then Bonito Juarez over at Harrison. Yeah, part of it. Yeah.
Well, that's the beginning of that. That's
so
this is the Daniel Martin All-Stars in 86.
Oh, wow.
That's what's crazy. A lot of these guys, they don't realize how deep this goes. Like men's baseball goes deep, and that's why I love it so much. It goes to before I was born, before most of us were born, and they just don't realize what the history means of Chicago men's baseball. And the future that it's coming to, it's getting stronger every year. And there's just different leagues popping up, right? You got South Shore out in Indiana. You got Benito Juarez. You got Azteca. You got Blue Island now. You got the Burbank, the Roy Hobbs, MSL, CSBL. You have all these leagues that is just baseball everywhere. And everyone loves baseball. They want to keep playing it. And, maybe one day I'll play with my son, which will be cool. He's 10. So I know Andy was probably 10 when he was out. Around.
Well, they got a father and son tournaments out in Arizona.
So I've been thinking about putting something together for it. I know a couple guys that already do it. I know Jason Rivero used to tell us about it all the time. I would love to get a father-son tournament team from Chicago
And go out there.
and go out there for the
That'd be
week.
cool.
Hell
Do
yeah.
I
it,
think we
do
could
it,
win it.
soon, man, because I can still run a little bit.
I mean, you and me both. Well, I can still run. I hope I'm as fast as you when next season.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'll be down on that, man. You know.
But for sure. But yeah, we came up on our time today. Thanks for for joining us today.
Brought
It's
back a lot of memories.
for sure, and that's the
You
whole
get
point.
all those pictures.
I do a lot of research. Ask Ryan. I pretty much know Andy.
He types in your name, Nino, and all this stuff comes up. So we got a lot of footage for you that comes up on Google. You might want to check up on that.
Wow. Not nationwide or just local?
Yeah. Hopefully no mugshots of none of us are coming up like that.
No, that'd be you, Ryan, bro.
We try to stay those.
Don't put me on Facebook, man. I might be wanted. I don't know.
There you go. So yeah, that's pretty much
Who's that, Gunner?
That's
Is that Andy? Is that Andy?
Nino?
Is that Nino?
Yeah, I'm
Nino,
missing.
sir,
What's
how
up,
are
man?
you, man? I hope you're doing good.
Dude, you got a mustache and shit going or what?
A little bit, trying to be like you, man. Trying to be like you.
Okay, God.
All right. Hey, love you guys. Have a good night.
All right, take care, guys.
So yeah, I mean, I just did a little research on everybody, but it's for the show and being able to bring up memories, and that's the whole goal of this is just to bring the community together, and I just talk baseball and tell everyone's story, and I guess I just started the podcast with Ryan, and we're starting with a bunch of Nuevo Leon. I think
maybe the next episode we'll have somebody, right?
well, the next episode is another Nuevo Leon guy, so that when that comes out, it's just like the whole roster of that dynasty. But after that, once the season starts in a couple weeks here, we want to get more into action videos, like talking about the season and the week ahead, and having managers on from, say, Nuevo Leon's playing Aztecs. Having the two managers come on and having video content of the game and, talk a little bit about that. And also having managers of different leagues and, coming on and talking about their teams and talking about their league and promoting and marketing it and, building it from there.
Roger that.
So, but again, thanks you guys for joining today. For Ryan, for Andy, for Nino.
Here, brother.
Hey,
I'm Jesse.
See you again, Nino.
All right, man. Good
We'll
luck.
see you guys on the next one. See you guys. Take care.
Take care. See you.
Buenas noches.
Adios.